Major Kritika Patil. It's a great pleasure to welcome all of you at the military tattoo on Vijay Divas 2022. Along with Major Kritika and myself, we will also have for a little while Major Jettech Gupta of the Army Aviation Corps to take you through the proceedings of the aviation combat exercises and the fly past by the aviation helicopters. December 16th is a very significant day for both India and Bangladesh. As far as the Indian Army is concerned, 16th of December at Dhaka in the evening was possibly the most glorious moment of Indian Army because of the stellar victory over Pakistan, leading to a surrender of more than 93,000 troops, the largest surrender since the Second World War, which also included several officers of the level of generals, and more than 150,000 square kilometers of territory were captured by the Indian Armed Forces in association with the Mukti Bahini, the Mukti Yodhas, the liberation warriors of Bangladesh. So this war, while being an Indo-Pakistan war, was so decisive in India's favor, it was certainly a great day for both India and Bangladesh in the sense that Bangladesh was born on the 16th of December, the separate independent nation of Bangladesh, giving the people of Bangladesh their much looked forward to, much fought for independence. India joined the war officially on the 3rd of December 1971 after Pakistan launched preemptive airstrikes on 11 Indian air bases. The subsequent Indo-Pakistani war witnessed engagements on two war fronts. It was perhaps the first time in which all the three forces of India fought in unison. India quickly responded to Pakistan Army's momentum in the west and captured in a little while about 15,000 square kilometers of Pakistan territory. We shall now talk of several landmarks during the war. On the 4th of December, when Pakistan attacked Jaisalmer and the Battle of Longewala began, Major Kuldeep Singh Chandpuri of the 23rd Battalion of the Punjab Regiment, along with a strength of 120 soldiers, stopped the advance of 2,000 Pakistani soldiers and 40 tanks, gaining absolute domination of the borders. From the 4th to the 5th of December, the Indian Army, along with Mukti Bahini, captured Ghazipur at the Battle of Ghazipur. The Indian Navy conducted Operation Trident on the night of 4th and 5th of December by inflicting heavy damage on the Pakistani vessels and facilities in the Pakistan's port city of Karachi. While India suffered no losses, Pakistan lost a minesweeper, a destroyer, a cargo vessel carrying ammunition, and fuel storage tanks in Karachi. On the 5th of December, Indians attacked and took over Pakistani territory opposite Jammu. This was one of the vital spots as a part of Indo-Pakistan war in the western sector. The Indian troops won a hard-fought battle that secured this area in the Punjab-Jammu sector. The name Battle of Basantar actually encompasses the entire gambit of battles and skirmishes fought in the Shakargarh sector. Second Lieutenant Arun Khetarpal of 17 Pune Horse, in a daring counter-attack, led his 3 tanks into the minefield. A fierce battle followed. Even with 2 remaining tanks, he led the Indian forces valiantly and destroyed 10 Pakistani tanks before attaining martyrdom and doing the supreme sacrifice for his motherland. Lieutenant Khetarpal was honored with the posthumous Paramveer Chakra. The Indians continued the military tasking deep inside Pakistani territory and came threateningly close to the Pakistan Army base at Sialkot. Towards the end of the battle, India had gained control of more than 1,000 square miles before finally settling down to 350 square miles, close to around 910 kilometers of Pakistani territory that included approximately 500 villages. On the 6th of December, in a fierce battle between the forces, Jessore became the first independent district of Bangladesh. The independent radio station Bangla Betar Kendro was also founded. Between 7th and 16th December, India captured Sylhet, Jessore, and Maulabi Bazar and took control of the area. Operation Python on the 8th of December followed Operation Trident on the West Pakistani port city of Karachi by the Indian Navy. Once again, India suffered no losses, but Pakistani free tanker, Pakistan naval ship Dhaka was destroyed and the Kemari oil storage facility was lost. On the 9th of December, in the Battle of Kushtia, the Indian Navy in West Bengal attacked East Pakistan and captured Chandpur and Dotkhandi. On the 9th December, Indian Air Force airlifted the 4 corps of the Indian Army and the Mukti Bahini fighters from Brahmanbaria to Raipura in Narsingdi over the river Meghna, bypassing the destroyed Meghna Bridge and Pakistani defenses in Ashuganj. This was codenamed Operation Cactus Lily when the Indian troops did organize this Meghna Hello Bridge. Meghna Hello was brought under the control of the Indian Armed Forces, and on the 10th of December, Laksham was also set free. The famous Tangail airdrop by the 2nd Battalion of Indian Army's Parachute Regiment happened on the 11th of December, liberating Pungli Bridge on the Jamuna River. 11th December also saw the liberation of Kushtia and Noakhali. 13th December, the Soviet Navy deployed a group of warships in the direction of Southeast Asia. 14th of December, the Indian Army ensured the liberation of Bagura. 16th December finally saw the end of the Bangladesh Liberation War as Mitra Bahini, the Indian Armed Forces, and Mukti Bahini took over Dhaka. The chief of the Pakistani forces, General Amir Abdullah Khan Niazi, along with 93,000 troops, surrendered to the Indian Armed Forces and Bangladesh's Mukti Bahini. General Niazi signed the instrument of surrender on the 16th of December 1971 in Dhaka to Lieutenant General Jagjit Singh Arora, the GOC of the Eastern Command, marking the formation of East Pakistan as the new nation of Bangladesh. The surrender took place at the Ramna Racecourse in Dhaka on 16 December. Lieutenant General Amir Abdullah Khan Niazi and General Jagjit Singh Arora, Joint Commander of the Indian and Bangladesh forces, signed the instrument. Air Commodore A.K. Khandakar, Deputy Commander-in-Chief of the Bangladesh Armed Forces, and Lieutenant General J.F.R. Jacob of the Indian Eastern Command acted as witnesses to the surrender. Later, of course, on the 2nd of August 1972, India and Pakistan signed the Shimla Agreement, under which the former agreed to release all the 9,000 prisoners of war. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 25th of March 1971, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman gave a clarion call saying that today Bangladesh is a sovereign and independent country. Bangabandhu Mujibur Rahman was arrested on the night of 25th to 26th March at 1:30 in the morning. As many as 3 million innocent Bangladeshis were killed by Pakistani soldiers in a brutal campaign of rape, murder, and pillage over 9 months. It pursued the systematic elimination of nationalist Bengali civilians, students, intelligentsia, religious minorities, and armed personnel. The junta annulled the results of the 1970 elections and arrested Prime Minister designate Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Finally, of course, the systematic and barbaric campaign of genocide and subjugation came to an end, courtesy the Indian Army and the Bangladeshi Armed Forces against the 75 million people of Bangladesh, and paved the way for the return of over 10 million refugees back to their homes in Bangladesh.
A very good afternoon to one and all. We welcome you to this beautiful sunny afternoon here at the Race Course Turf Club Polo Ground for the Military Tattoo Show 2022. The show will be starting very soon. एक छोटी सी विनंती सभी दर्शकों से. You all are requested to be seated soon as the show will be starting by 14:30 hours. बच्चों से निवेदन है कि शो शुरू होने से बाद कृपया करके ग्राउंड पे ना जाएं, क्योंकि ग्राउंड पे बड़ी तेज़ी से घोड़े, गाड़ी और हेलीकॉप्टर्स आएंगे, किसी को भी चोट लग सकती है. इसलिए सभी बच्चों से विनंती है कि शो शुरू होने के बाद ग्राउंड पर ना जाएं.
আমাদের বন্ধু রাজ্য বাংলাদেশ থেকে এত মুক্তিযোদ্ধা আমাদের মধ্যে আজ এসেছেন, আপনাদের সকলকে সালাম জানাই, স্বাগত জানাই এই সুন্দর শহরে. আপনারা আজ থেকে 51 বছর আগে যে যুদ্ধ করেছিলেন ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর সঙ্গে, তারই ফসল হিসেবে সারা বিশ্ব দুনিয়া পেল বাংলাদেশের মতন সুন্দর একটি রাজ্যকে. আপনাদের আরও একবার স্যালিউট জানাই, সালাম জানাই. আপনারা প্রতি বছর আমাদের মধ্যে আসেন, আমরা আপনাদের উপস্থিতিতে ধন্য হই. We request all of you মুক্তিযোদ্ধাস to carry our best wishes with all of you to the Honorable Prime Minister of Pakistan, the courageous Sheikh Hasina, and on behalf of the people of India.
कुछ नशा देश की आन का है, कुछ नशा देश की शान का है. हम लहराएंगे हर जगह ये तिरंगा. नशा ये हिंदुस्तान के अवाम का है, नशा ये हिंदुस्तान के हर एक जवान का है. राष्ट्रभक्ति, कर्मभूमि स्नेह एवं पूर्ण अभिमान के साथ विजय दिवस 2022 के अंतर्गत आयोजित मिलिट्री टैटू शो में मैं मेजर कृतिका पाटिल अपने सह संचालक श्री विप्लव गांगुली एवं मेजर यथार्थ के साथ यहाँ उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों का हार्दिक स्वागत एवं अभिनंदन करती हूँ. देवी और सज्जनों, आज के कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करने से पहले आइए माजी के पन्नों को पलटकर थोड़ा इतिहास की ओर रुख करते हैं. शेरों की हुंकार के जैसे, वीरों की ललकार के जैसे, सरहद पर वो डटे रहे साहस के अवतार के जैसे. सरहदों की उन चोटियों के ऊपर, कुर्बानी की वेदियों के ऊपर, देशभक्त का तिलक लगाकर विजय के त्योहार के जैसे. सन 1971, आज से कुल 51 साल पहले, शांतिप्रिय भारत देश पर दुश्मन देश पाकिस्तान ने 3 दिशाओं से हमला किया. जी हाँ देवी और सज्जनों, पाकिस्तान ने भारत पर पूर्वी, पश्चिमी एवं उत्तरी दिशा से एक साथ हमला किया. पर जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं कि भारतीय सेना का ये मानना है कि आधे मन से मित्रता या शत्रुता दोनों ही गलत है, अब प्रेम हो या युद्ध, भरपूर होना चाहिए. या तो शत्रु शांति का सम्मान करना सीख ले, या तो कर्म अब उसका चकनाचूर होना चाहिए. और इसी जज्बे के साथ भारत के तीनों सेनाओं ने बांग्लादेश के मुक्ति योद्धाओं के साथ उत्कृष्ट युद्ध कला एवं अदम्य साहस का परिचय देते हुए पाकिस्तान को मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया. मात्र 13 दिनों तक चले इस घमासान एवं रक्त रंजित युद्ध के अंत पर पाकिस्तान के लेफ्टिनेंट जनरल नियाजी ने अपनी हार को स्वीकार किया और अपने 93,000 सैनिकों के साथ भारत के सामने आत्मसमर्पण किया. और इसी के साथ एक नए देश का निर्माण हुआ, जिसे आज हम बांग्लादेश के नाम से भी जानते हैं. परंतु इस युद्ध के अंत पर हमारे कुछ 3,400 सैनिक शहीद हुए और तकरीबन 8,900 घायल. वे सभी अमर वीर सैनिक जंग लड़े वीरों की तरह जब खून खौल फौलाद हुआ, मरते दम तक डटे रहे वो, तभी तो देश आज़ाद हुआ. देवी और सज्जनों, आप सबसे निवेदन है कि अपनी अपनी सीट पर बैठ जाएं, क्योंकि कुछ ही क्षणों में आज का कार्यक्रम का शुरुआत होगा. Ladies and gentlemen, you all are kindly requested to be seated. The show will be starting very soon.
মিলিটারি ট্যাটুতে আপনাদের সকলকে স্বাগত। আপনারা একটু আগেই শুনলেন আমার সহ সঞ্চালিকা কৃতিকার মুখে যে বাংলাদেশ সৃষ্টি হয়েছিল এই যুদ্ধের পর। বাংলাদেশের স্বাধীনতা যুদ্ধ যাতে অংশগ্রহণ করেছিলেন ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনী, এবং ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর সবচেয়ে চরম মুহূর্ত, সাফল্যের চরম মুহূর্ত এসেছিল 16ই ডিসেম্বর, যেখানে যে বাংলাদেশ মুক্তিবাহিনী এবং ভারতীয় সেনারা 93,000 পাকিস্তানি সেনাদের প্রিজনার অফ ওয়ার যুদ্ধবন্দী করেছিলেন, সারেন্ডার করেছিলেন, আত্মসমর্পণ করেছিলেন জেনারেল নিয়াজি, আমির আবদুল্লাহ খান নিয়াজি। এদিকে এই যে যুক্ত বাহিনী তার শীর্ষে ছিলেন লেফটেন্যান্ট জেনারেল জগজিৎ সিং অরোরা। ঢাকায় সেই আত্মসমর্পণ হয়েছিল এবং তারপর প্রায় 9 মাসের যুদ্ধ, 9 মাসের স্ট্রাগল যেটা বাংলাদেশিরা করেছিলেন। ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনী অবশ্যই বাংলাদেশিদের তৈরি করছিলেন যুদ্ধের জন্য অনেক দিন থেকে, কিন্তু ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনী মূল যুদ্ধে অংশগ্রহণ করেছিলেন 13 দিন ধরে, 3রা ডিসেম্বর থেকে 16ই ডিসেম্বর পর্যন্ত। এবং শুধু এই 9 মাসের পাকিস্তানি বাহিনীর অত্যাচার তো নয়, তারও 20 বছর আগের থেকে, 1950 সালের গোড়া থেকে বাংলা ভাষা, বাংলা কৃষ্টি, বাংলা সংস্কৃতির জন্য লড়াই করে গেছে সে সময়ের পূর্ব পাকিস্তানের বাঙালিরা। নেতৃত্ব দিয়েছেন বঙ্গবন্ধু জাতির পিতা শেখ মুজিবুর রহমান। এবং এই 20 বছরের যে স্ট্রাগল, 20 বছরের যে বাংলা ভাষার জন্য আন্দোলন, সেখানেও অনেকে প্রাণ দিয়েছেন। 21শে ফেব্রুয়ারি অমর 21-এর কথা আপনারা জানেন। ভাষার জন্য কত তরুণ বাংলাদেশি শহীদ হয়েছিলেন। সে সবের শেষে 16ই ডিসেম্বর আমরা পেলাম সুন্দর দেশ বাংলাদেশকে। আপনাদের সকলকে এই মিলিটারি ট্যাটুতে আরও একবার স্বাগত। Before the show starts, let me take you through the schedule of events. The celebrations will start with the arrival of the chief guest for the afternoon, the Army Commander of the Eastern Command, the General Officer Commanding in Chief, Lieutenant General Rana Pratap Kalita, Uttam Yudh Seva Medal, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Vishesh Seva Medal, Sena Medal. And after which you will see a fly past by the Army Aviation Helicopters, ALH, WSI and Cheetah, carrying the national flag and, of course, the flag of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. This will be followed by a standing salute on horseback by the riders of the Army Equestrian Team. The air show fly past by Sukhoi Su-30 combat aircraft. You will also see skydiving, paramotor display, assault display by a combat team of Heptards. The Army Dog Squad would enthrall everyone. Along with them, the Army Transport the animal transport team will display the mule trick riding. You will also see Maratha pole wrestling, Jhanj Pathak Malkham, finally a glimpse of our heritage through the traditional martial arts, Kalaripayattu of Kerala, and martial calisthenics display by northeastern warriors. As many as 1,000 children, the future soldiers of India, have been specially invited. They are attending today. A big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for the future of India. 1,000 young children, school-going children, are here on special invitation to see all this, to be inspired and join the Indian Armed Forces to serve the nation. বাংলাদেশের থেকে আগত মুক্তিযোদ্ধাদের আরও একবার স্বাগত জানাই আমাদের মধ্যে। 16ই ডিসেম্বরের জন্য আপনারা সকলে আসেন, আমরা খুব ভালো লাগে আমাদের। আপনাদের জন্যই আপনারা এবং আমাদের সেনাবাহিনী একসঙ্গে কাঁধে কাঁধ মিলিয়ে লড়াই করেছেন 16ই ডিসেম্বর তৈরি হয় বাংলাদেশের মতন সুন্দর স্বাধীন রাষ্ট্র। We take pleasure in welcoming amidst us the General Officer Commanding of the Bengal Sub-Area, Major General Sandeep Singh Kahlor, Vishesh Seva Medal, and Mrs. Rupali Kahlor. May I request all of you who are loitering in front to kindly settle down. The chief guest is on his way. Please, kindly, may I request all of you on duty to make sure that the front is cleared. All of you. Please.
सभी दर्शकों से निवेदन है कि वे कृपया करके अपने अपने सीट पर विराजमान हो जाएं। Ladies and gentlemen, you all are requested to be kindly seated. The VIP is on his way and the show will be starting shortly. देवी और सज्जनों, आप सबसे निवेदन है कि जल्द से जल्द अपने सीट पर विराजमान हो जाएं। Ladies and gentlemen, you are requested to be seated. The VIP on his way.
আপনারা কাইন্ডলি বসে পড়ুন, যে যার জায়গায় আসেন বসে পড়ুন, পরে শিফট করবেন। The VIP is on his way. May I request you to kindly be seated, because as commentators we are not being able to see anything in front. Please, we need your cooperation. Please.
Yes, sir. Yes, making it.
No, she will not be able to say it.
I'm not able
You
to
try
see,
and
sir,
see
to
it
be
from
honest.
here. Kindly be seated, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the VIP has entered the ground. You are requested to be seated quickly. देवी और सज्जनों, आप सबसे निवेदन है कि जल्द से जल्द अपने सीट पर विराजमान हो जाएं।
Ladies and gentlemen, the ceremonial buggy carrying the chief guest of the afternoon, Lieutenant General Rana Pratap Kalita, Uttam Youth Seva Medal, Ati Vishesh Seva Medal, Sena Medal, Vishesh Seva Medal. General Officer Commanding in Chief Eastern Command has commenced its journey. The very ceremonial buggy carrying the chief guest. We accord a most warm welcome to the Chief of Staff of the Eastern Command, Lieutenant General K.K. Repswal, Sena Medal, Vishesh Seva Medal, and Mrs. Vidya Repswal amidst us. Lieutenant General Rana Pratap Kalita is an alumnus of the Sainik School, Goalpara, National Defence Academy, and the Indian Military Academy. He was commissioned in the 9th Battalion of the Kumaon Regiment on the 9th of June 1984. The General Officer is a graduate of the Defence Services Staff College and has attended Higher Command and National Defence College courses. In his 38 years of distinguished military career, he has the distinction of tenanting important and challenging command and staff appointments in the Northeast and Jammu and Kashmir. The General Officer commanded a Rashtriya Rifles Battalion in intense counterinsurgency in Jammu and Kashmir, a mountain brigade in peace, an infantry division in Jammu and Kashmir, and a corps in the Northeast. He brings with him an enormous operational experience in places like Operation Pavan in Sri Lanka, Operation Parakram, and Operation Rakshak. Operation Bajrang, Operation Rhino, Operation Orchid, and Operation Hifazat. Prior to taking over as GOC's Eastern Command, he was Director General, Manpower Planning and Personnel Services in Aegis Branch, Integrated Headquarters of the Ministry of Defence. The General Officer is also the Colonel of the Kumaon and the Naga Regiments and Kumaon Scouts. We accord a very warm welcome to the Army Commander, Eastern Command, and Mrs. Nisha Kalita, President of the Army Wives Welfare Association, Eastern Region. In a little while, ladies and gentlemen, Advanced Light Helicopter Weapon System Integrated ALHWSI and the multi-role, multi-purpose Cheetah helicopters will be performing a fly-past carrying the national flag of Bangladesh and India. It's over to Major Yatharth Gupta of the Army Aviation Corps to take us to this. Ladies and gentlemen, nearly 1,000 children on special invitation are here to inspire them to join the armed forces. They are the backbone, the future of the nation, specially invited by the Indian Armed Forces here.
Ladies and gentlemen, आपसे गुजारिश है कृपया अपना ध्यान अपनी बाएं ओर करें. You will be able to see the inverted wine glass formation of the Army aviation helicopters tearing through the misty air. Formation flying with different class of helicopters is an exercise in which all the training, concentration and skills acquired by a pilot are put to test of highest difficulties. Flying a helicopter close to one another is a task which places severe demands on both the body and the mind. It is complex, challenging and thrilling all at once. Led by the Rudra helicopter or the ALH weapon systems integrated, जो कि भारत में निर्मित है. It is followed by the Dhruv helicopter, the ALH Mark III, flanked on either side by two Cheetah helicopters carrying the national and the Bangladesh flags. Today, the Rudra is being flown by Colonel Nitin Chaudhary and Captain Krishna Kumar, the Dhruvs by Lieutenant Colonel Karanjit Brar and Captain Madhur Dubey, Cheetah 1 by Lieutenant Colonel Sanjog, Captain K.S. Tomar, and Cheetah 2 by Major Rajkumar and Captain Sabu Anthony.
May I request all of you to applaud, please?
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a spectacular show there by the choppers of the Army Aviation. And now moving ahead with the program, let's start it the martial way. In a short while from now, you shall witness from the left end of the ground, Havaldar Prithvi charging on his horse Tufan and doing the flag hoisting the martial way. In the front of the ground, you can see Subedar Major Ashok with the red flag. And with the flag being down, that's a signal for the horse to start from the left end. Ladies and gentlemen, apni baएं taraf dekhe. Havaldar Prithvi astride Tufan. He's charging towards the center of the ground. He's going for the peg. He's got the lines down and he's aiming for the lance. And there you go. He's picked it up. The Eastern Command flag fluttering high in the sky. And right behind him, from the left again, you shall witness Nayak T. Sarkar with the Eastern Command flag. And right behind him would be Sipai Ajay Singh and Sipai Jitender doing the standing salute for our chief guest for the day. What a fantastic start for today's event, ladies and gentlemen. We now move on to another of the equestrian discipline, which is show jumping 6 bar.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in a little while you will see a Sukhoi Su-30 fly past. Till then, let me welcome our neighbors who have come here all the way. The Mukti Jodhas are here. May I welcome Major General Muhammad Mahbubur Rashid and Mrs. Khadiza Haq Chaudhary. Major General Rashid is the delegation leader. We have Air Commodore AKM Ziaul Haq and Mrs. Sabina Haq. Brigadier General Mamunur Rashid and Mrs. Tania Bibi, Captain Muhammad Nazrul Islam and Mrs. Mehfooza Nasreen. We are proud and privileged to have with us Lieutenant Colonel Qazi Sajjad Ali Zahir, a noted Mukti Jodha, Bir Padok, Bir Pratik and Shadhinata Padok, and also a Padma Shri of the Government of India, and Mrs. Khalida Mariam Sajjad. Muhammad Abdul Hai, Member of Parliament, is here with Mrs. Salina Parvin. We also have Muhammad Fazlul Haq, Bir Pratik from Tangail. You know about the famous Tangail airdrop. We shall talk about it later on. And all the other Mukti Jodhas who are here. আপনাদের সকলকে এখানে স্বাগত। আমাদের বন্ধু রাজ্য, প্রিয় রাষ্ট্র, বন্ধু রাষ্ট্র বাংলাদেশের মুক্তিযোদ্ধারা এখানে এসেছেন। আপনারা ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর সঙ্গে কাঁধে কাঁধ মিলিয়ে যুদ্ধ করে বাংলাদেশ সৃষ্টি করেছেন। তার আগে অবশ্য আপনাদের 20 বছর নির্যাতনের মধ্যে কাটাতে হয়েছে বাংলা ভাষার জন্য, বাংলার সংস্কৃতির জন্য। আপনারা প্রাণ দিয়েছেন। As many as 3 million East Pakistani Bengalis were butchered and killed by the Pakistani army in the course of the oppression. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you to please look up as we see the 3 magnificent multi-role fighter jets. The Sukhoi Su-30 MKI, flown by Wing Commander Bhatt and Squadron Leader Sagar, Wing Commander Ajay, Flight Lieutenant Bajpai, Wing Commander Rakesh and Squadron Leader Beniwal doing a magnificent fly past in the VIC formation. This aircraft, developed by Russia's Sukhoi and built under license by India's Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, is a heavy, all-weather, long-range fighter. The formation was flying at a speed of 660 kilometers an hour.
And what a dynamic start for today's event, ladies and gentlemen. We move on with the equestrian discipline, the show jumping 4-bar. In front of you, you shall be able to see 4 identical fences placed in a straight line. The obstacles are placed at equidistant from each other with 2 strides in between. The first fence is the lowest and the subsequent fence being the highest than the previous one. In this, the rider comes head on, starting with the first jump. We have Captain Tejender Singh astride Guru. He will be followed by Mr. Harsh Chararia, Sipai Dinesh and Havaldar Prithvi. In the ground, we have Colonel Amit Sinsanwar. He's a senior rider of the Army Service Corps, and he's presently the coach. And there we have Captain Tejender. He's approached the first one. That's a clear. He's going on to the second one. That's also a clear. The third one as well. Can we have a clear round? And yes, we have a super clear round there for Captain Tejender Singh astride Guru.
Tejender goes into the next round.
The next rider on the ground is Mr. Harsh Jain with his warm blood horse. He's going on to the second one. That's a clear. Can we have the third one a clear? And the fourth one is also a clear there. Very lucky over there, Mr. Harsh Jain.
Harsh goes into the next round.
The third rider on the ground is Sipai Dinesh Fogadia astride Om. Dinesh Fogadia, a young rider of the Army Service Corps. He's going clear up till now. Can we have a clear by Dinesh? And yes, we have a super clear round there by Sipai Dinesh Fogadia. And the last rider on the ground, Havaldar Prithvi astride Taichi. Havaldar Prithvi, a seasoned rider of the Army Service Corps. He's riding Taichi today, which is trained by Captain Tejender Singh. And that's a clear round for Havaldar Prithvi.
Captain Tejender and Prithvi, along with the civilian rider, goes into the next round.
That was Colonel Amit Sinsanwar. He himself is a seasoned rider of the Army Service Corps with 68 medals at national level and 26 medals at international medal. So as it was announced, the second round will be difficult than the first one. In the first round, we had the jump being placed at 1.15 meter, and now it is increased to 1.30, and that's Captain Tejender. He's crossed the first one. The second one is a clear. Can we have the third clear? Yes, it is. And the fourth one is also a clear.
Tejender
Very
goes
good
into the
job
next
done
round.
there, Captain Tejender. Captain Tejender, a young rider of the Army Service Corps, a dynamic rider himself, an instructor grading in the advanced equestrian course. Mr. Harsh is on course now. Mr. Harsh, he's going clear up till now. The number 3 is a clear, and number 4 as well. Very lucky again, Mr. Harsh Jain.
Harsh goes into the next round.
Third rider, Havaldar Prithvi astride Taichi. He's coming little fast. Can we have a clear round by Havaldar Prithvi as well? And yes, we have. The riders have practiced well.
Tejender and Harsh goes into the next round based on their performance and technicality.
So now you can see the height is again being increased, increasing the technical difficulty of the jump. The first rider on the course again would be Captain Tejender Singh astride his horse Guru. Guru is a very young horse, a recruit horse being trained by Captain Tejender himself. There you go, he's got a good cheering by the crowd. Captain Tejender, the first rider on the third round. That's a huge leap over 1. The second one is a clear. The third one as well. And can we have a clear 4-1? Yes, it is.
Well
a very
done.
good show by Captain Tejender Singh. Now let's see if Mr. Harsh Jain could have a clear round himself. Mr. Harsh Jain is a state champion in 2019 and 2022. He was also the best rider in the state equestrian from 2016 to 2019. He's little lucky on the third one and a drop on the fourth one. Never luck.
The winner is Captain Tejender.
A huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Captain Tejender and his young horse, Guru. And there you go. The show is on. Havaldar Prithvi has already started with the trick jumping. You can see Havaldar Prithvi with his horse Taichi. They have already jumped the table, the Machardani jump, and now approaching the foot wall jump. That's a huge leap over the foot wall. He's now approaching a very unique motorcycle jump. That's a clear. And hold on to your breath, ladies and gentlemen, as now Havildar Prithvi and Taichi would be approaching the gypsy jump. And there you go, he's coming straight on towards the gypsy, and can we have a clear? And that's a super clear round there for Havildar Prithvi. Sipai Dinesh is right behind him. He's done the Machardani jump now, approaching the fort wall. देवी और सज्जनों, जोरदार तालियों के साथ इन राइडर्स का मनोबल अफजाई करें. बहुत ही मेहनत लगती है इन घोड़ों के साथ ट्रेनिंग करने में और इस स्तर का शो पेश करने में. Sipai Dinesh now approaching the motorcycle jump. Sipai Dinesh, a very young rider of the Army Service Corps of only 26 years. He's just started learning the riding and being presently coached by Captain Tejender. And there you go, a crisscross of Mr. Harsh and Sipai Dinesh. There you go, Sipai Dinesh. He was head on with the horse. The horse was refusing, but that's a good sign of a rider. He was hell-bent on getting him through the gypsy jump. And the last rider on the course, Mr. Harsh, with his horse. He's gone over the gypsy and now would be approaching the gypsy jump. Hold on to your breath, ladies and gentlemen. That's Harsh with his horse coming straight on towards the gypsy. And there you go, a very nice show there by Harsh and his horse. Ladies and gentlemen, you can see Harsh has lost his stirrups, but that's a sign of a great horsemanship. He's still going on with the show. A huge round of applause for their Harsh and his horse. And the last rider on the ground, Captain Tejender Singh with Guru. Captain Tejender coming a little fast towards this gypsy. He's controlling his horse now and straight on. And there you go, a very nice round there for Captain Tejender and Guru. And oh my God, the firing is on. Show abhi baki hai, Devi aur Sajano. Havildar Prithvi now approaching with Taichi. And there you go. He's crossed the fire ring. Sipai Dinesh just after him. Very nice show there by Sipai Dinesh. Next is Mr. Harsh Jain without the stirrups this time, ladies and gentlemen. A huge round of applause for Mr. Harsh. Very nice show. And last but not the least, Captain Tejender with his team. देवी और सज्जनों, जोरदार तालियों के साथ इन सभी जाबाज राइडर्स और उनके घोड़ों के लिए बजाएं और इनका हौसला अफजाई कीजिए.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful show by the horsemen of the Indian Army. Coming up next is the Army Aviation Combat Display and Small Team Insertion and Extrication, the STI operations. November 1st, 1986 was an auspicious day, a momentous day in the history of the Indian Army when its long quest for an aviation corps, the Army Aviation Corps, the dynamic aerial maneuver arm, became a reality. The corps immediately after its raising saw action in Sri Lanka during Operation Pavan. As an integral part of the Combined Arms Team, it provides the ground forces, the third dimension, as well as a power-packed punch to alter the dynamics of warfare in the tactical battle arena. Army aviation is an indispensable aspect to all formation commanders and is utilized for combat support and logistic support missions, thereby increasing the area of influence of all formation commanders. In the future battlefield, the Corps will be at the forefront of shaping the battle space by gaining information dominance, projecting the force, sustaining the force, and delivering decisive combat power at critical times virtually anywhere in the battlefield. It is over to Major Yatharth Gupta of the Army Aviation Corps to take you through the conduct of the combat helicopter show.
Ladies and gentlemen, अभी हम आपके सामने एक संक्षिप्त combat aviation demonstration का प्रदर्शन करेंगे. The timings and the distances have been telescoped due to the constraints of space and time, and the maneuvers will be deliberately displayed much slower than the actual for all of you to comprehend better. कुछ देर के लिए मान लीजिए कि आपके सामने का इलाका दुश्मन का है और इसमें एक बंकर जो कि रेड फ्लैग से डिमार्केटेड है वो एनिमी का हाइड आउट है. The suspected area needs to be recceed for presence of any resistance and location of the anti-national elements. Is performed by the helicopters showcase the Army aviation as an integral and inseparable part of the combined arms team in the tactical battle area. The skills displayed calls for exemplary courage, realistic training, and unwavered discipline. Proudly so, the dynamic Army Aviation Corps of the Indian Army helps in guarding the borders of the Eastern Theatre, living to its motto of swift and sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for these daredevil heroes of the Army Aviation Corps. Swift and sure, any place, anywhere, anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, our next presentation is a tribute to the heroics of the Maratha army of the great Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj by the men of the 5th Battalion of the Maratha Light Infantry, the Royal Battalion of the Maratha Regiment, one of the finest and oldest battalions of the Indian Army, having a rich legacy of more than 222 years. The battalion is known for its outstanding skills at Jhanj Patak and Malkham. Let me explain to you. The word Malkham is composed of Malla or Mallar, which means wrestler, and Kham, which means pole in Marathi, means the wrestling pole. The term was originally referred to the traditional training of wrestlers. The show begins with Jhanj Patak, synchronized movements with the saffron flags, to traditional martial beats of the dhol and the singer or the Indian trumpet, bellowing out war cries simulating the neigh of horses, the manner in which soldiers made their battle charge in ancient times. Alongside the soldiers of the 5th Battalion of the Maratha Regiment would perform daring gymnastic skills on the Mallakhambh, the wrestling pole. History says that Kanhoji Angre, the admiral of the great Maratha king Chhatrapati Shivaji, realized that once the sailors were aboard a ship for longer durations, the training physical would be hampered. Therefore, he innovated by using mast of ships and made his soldiers practice Mallakhambh. Ladies and gentlemen, Jhanj Patak, directed by Naib Subedar Raghunath Pol, and Mallakhambh, directed by Naib Subedar Nilesh Bhonsle.
शत्रु राह में मिले हमने जब जब शमशीरें ताने है माहे भवानी सनन आंधियां उठे शत्रु जड़ से ही मिटे हमने बात यही मन में ठानी है माया भवानी खुददार है अब हर एक दिन स्वराज का त्योहार है अब ये शीश ना झुके तेरी लाज हम रखे तेरे चरण की शपथ मां जगदम्बे है माया भवानी ज्वाला सी जलती है आंखों में जिसके भी दिल में तेरा नाम है पर सितारे, उसकी नजरें उतारे, डर भी उससे डरा रे, जिसकी रखवाली यारे, करता साया तेरा देवा श्री गणेश।
बजने दे धड़क धड़क ढोल ताश धड़क धड़क भंडारा झिड़क झिड़क मल्हारी, खड़क धड़क भड़क साली चटक मटक भटक साली, दुश्मन की देखो जो फट लावली। बजने दे धड़क धड़क ढोल ताश धड़क धड़क भंडारा झिड़क झिड़क मल्हारी, खड़क धड़क भड़क साली चटक मटक भटक साली, दुश्मन की देखो जो फट लावली। बजने दे धड़क धड़क ढोल ताश धड़क धड़क भंडारा झिड़क झिड़क मल्हारी, खड़क धड़क भड़क साली चटक मटक भटक साली, दुश्मन की देखो जो फट लावली।
Hello, check. Hello.
একদম মাঠে গ্রাউন্ডে গ্রাউন্ডে মাঠে রে বাবা
भवानी जय शिवाजी। देवी सज्जनों एक बार जोरदार तालियों के साथ
5 मराठा लाइट इन्फेंट्री रेजिमेंट के वीर मराठाओं का हौसला अफजाई कीजिए, जिन्होंने धमाकेदार जांच पटक एवं मल्लखम के प्रदर्शन के साथ हम सबका मनोरंजन किया. And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on with the next event for the evening, which is a series of tent pegging. Now, what is tent pegging? It is a sport of equestrian discipline where the objective for the rider is to come galloping on a horse, pierce, pick, or carry the peg, which is generally a cardboard or a wooden cutout which is placed at an angle of 45 degrees on the ground. In front of you, you can see the ground men putting the pegs on the ground. In the center of the ground is Subedar Major Ashok Kumar, a seasoned rider of the Army Service Corps, himself a national level player of tent pegging and show jumping. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, the flag, the signal has been given to Havaldar Prithvi and his horse Arjuna. He's coming blazing towards the center of the ground. He's taken out his lance. He's aiming towards it and he's got it. Now he's taking out his sword. He's coming to the center. Can he get it? And he has. Now he's taking out the third weapon, which is a bayonet. He's going down and he's picked it up. A wonderful show there by Havaldar Prithvi and his seasoned horse Arjuna. Moving on, the next event in front of you is hanky picking, which is being done by Sipai Dinesh Fogadia astride his horse Gold Star. In a short while from now, you shall see Sipai Dinesh coming from the left end of the ground. देवियर सज्जनों अपनी नजर बाईं ओर ले जाएं. कुछ क्षणों में सिपाही दिनेश अपने घोड़े गोल्ड स्टार के साथ हैंकी पिकिंग का नमूना पेश करेंगे. देवियर सज्जनों, there you go, the flag is down. The signal is being given to Fogadia. Look at him, he's just kissing the ground and the third one is also in the air. He's painted the skies of Kolkata in different colors, ladies and gentlemen. That's Sipahi Dinesh Fogadia astride his horse Gold Star. And now moving on, ladies and gentlemen, the third show in front of you would be bottle shooting. The soldiers of Indian Army are known to be best marksmen, that is, their skills with weapon are known. But how about combining a galloping horse with shooting? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. In a short while from now, you shall see Captain Tejender coming from the right end, and he has started. Look to your right. Look to your right, ladies and gentlemen. That's Captain Tejender saying astride his horse Arjuna. He's aimed for the bottle, and can he get it? Yes, he has. He has got the middle bottle, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together for Captain Tejender and Tufan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the next event, which is a cross tent pegging. In this, you shall see two riders coming from both the ends of the ground. That is, Nayak T. Sarkar would come from the left end and Sipai Dinesh Fogadia would come from the right. They shall be blazing towards each other and each would be trying to get the peg on the ground. Subedar Ashok Kumar checking the pegs on the ground. The flag is down. Now look to your left and right simultaneously. You shall see Nayak T. Sarkar and Sipai Dinesh Fogadia aiming towards the peg. I hope they don't hit each other. They have to pick up the peg and they have. Sipai Dinesh has. Can T. Sarkar get it? And he has to. What a spectacular show there by the riders of the Army Service Corps doing the cross tent pegging. The next event in front of you would be team tent pegging. In this, Havaldar Prithvi, Sipai Ajay and Sipai Dinesh Fogadia would be coming. Imagine a cavalry charge with a file of mounted soldiers galloping towards you from an unexpected direction. That is what you shall be witnessing very soon now. Subedar Major Ashok Kumar checking the pegs. He's got it right. And now he shall be giving the signal to the riders. And he has given, look to your left now. Look to your left, Havaldar Prithvi, Sipai Ajay and Dinesh charging together towards the center of the ground. Oh, that's a scene to see. Look at them. They have taken down the lance and can they pick up the peg? And all three have. A wonderful show there. A wonderful show there. And next we have the Indian file. In this you shall witness 3 pegs placed one after the other, and also the riders would be coming one after the other. The aim of the first rider is to pick up the first peg, the second will pick up the middle one, and the last will pick up the third peg. In this, a lot of speed and synchronization is required, ladies and gentlemen. It takes years and years of practice to do such a stunt in front of us today. And there you go, the signal has been given to the riders. Sipai Dinesh, forward by Havaldar Prithvi and Sipai Ajay. They are all charging towards the center of the ground. The first one is Sipai Dinesh. Can he pick it up? And yes, he has. Now it's Havaldar Prithvi. He has picked it up too. And the last rider on the ground. That's a very good show, a hat-trick there for Sipai Dinesh, Havaldar Prithvi and Sipai Ajay. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the last event of the tent pegging, which is lance and peg. In this, you shall see Nayak T. Sarkar coming from the left end now, and he shall try to pick up the peg. Hey, what is happening? The red signal is not yet given. Oh, koi handler ko beech mein se hatao, ghoda aa chuka hai. Oh, hatao isko, hatao, and there you go. A perfect synchronization by the rider. The rider is safe, the handler is safe, and the horse is very, very happy. Ladies and gentlemen, I now hand over to Mr. Biplab Ganguly.
Thank you very much, Major Kritika, for taking us through this truly daredevil act by the horsemen of the Army Service Corps, the brave members of the Indian Armed Forces of the Indian Army. এখন আপনাদের আমরা ব্যান্ড প্রদর্শন করব ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর খুব বিখ্যাত যে ব্যান্ড প্রদর্শন আপনারা দেখবেন the Indian Armed Forces have deep-rooted martial music traditions. Martial music is one of the many forms of music particularly composed to create veer ras, to rouse inspired feelings of courage and valor. Today's display is a regimental mix. 11th Battalion of Kumaon Regiment, 23rd Battalion of Rajput Regiment, 16th Battalion of Assam Regiment, 5th Battalion of 5/8 Gorkha Rifles, 2nd Battalion of Rajputana Rifles, 16th Battalion of Sikh Regiment, 20th Battalion of Punjab Regiment, 5th Battalion of the Maratha Light Regiment, 16th Battalion of Kumaon Regiment, and the 22nd Battalion of Punjab Regiment. The entire band is led by Naib Subedar Raghavendra, Brand Master of 11th Battalion of Kumaon Regiment, under supervision of Lieutenant Colonel Vimal Joshi, Inspector of Army Band Eastern Command. আপনারা দেখছেন ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর ব্যান্ড প্রদর্শন বিভিন্ন রেজিমেন্টের যারা ব্যান্ডে ব্যান্ড বাজান তাদের নিয়ে আজকের এই সম্মিলিত ব্যান্ড প্রদর্শন। a big hand for the brilliant display by the regimental mix of the Indian Army. ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর বিভিন্ন রেজিমেন্টের সম্মিলিত প্রদর্শন, ব্যান্ড প্রদর্শন আপনারা প্রত্যক্ষ করলেন। একটি জোরে করতালি দিয়ে তাদের আমরা ধন্যবাদ জানাই। আসুন। Ladies and gentlemen, you see a group of animals coming here. These are the mules of the Indian Army. From horses and dogs to carrier pigeons, animals and bats have for long been assistants to humans in the theatre of war. The forward posts of the Indian Army are inaccessible. Have you ever thought how supplies like ration, arms, ammunition and construction material are sent to these posts? It's the Indian Army's mules that carry all this material. There are two types of them in this animal transport. Mule artillery is the indomitable force specially assigned to carry heavy guns on their backs, and ammunition and other equipment are carried by the mule general services. Pedongi was the name of a heroic mule known for exceptional feat. She performed in the 71 war, unfazed by bullets, airstrikes and trenches. She was most remarkable. What happened was an 80 column, the animal transport column, including Pedongi, was captured by the Pakistan Army. A fortnight later, Pedongi escaped from across the border and returned to the Indian post along with boxes of Pakistani ammunition on her back. She was honored by the Indian Army for bravery with a ceremonial blue velvet rug. The lounge at the Army Service Corps, Army Service Corps lounge at the headquarters, the Central Army Service Corps mess, is named after her in honor. Served for many, many years, entered the Guinness Book of Records as the longest serving mule.
आजा आजा जिंद शामी आने के तले आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमाने के तले जय हो जय हो आजा आजा जिंद शामी आने के तले आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमाने के तले जय हो जय हो सच्ची मैंने जान गवाई है नच नच कोई
शामी आने के तले आजा
सच्ची मैंने जान गवाई है नच नच कोयलों पे रात बिताई है अखियों की नींद मैंने फूकों से उड़ा दी गिल गिल तारे मैंने उंगली जलाई है आजा जिंदे शामी आने के तले आजा
Big hand, ladies and gentlemen, for these exceptional shows of bravery and alacrity by these unsung soldiers of the Indian Army, presented by the 877 Animal Transport Battalion of the Army Service Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, now I welcome you all to the skies above. You shall see daring skydiving by the Army Adventure Wing. Brilliant paratroopers. You see, the Indian Army's paratroopers have done valiant jobs in the past. All of us remember the Tangail drop by so many paratroopers, which the enemy with death stared the enemy at their eyes. 700 plus paratroopers dropped at Tangail on the 11th of December 1971. In fact, the 2nd Battalion of the Parachute Regiment were the first to enter the capital, Dhaka. Does it seem insane that anybody would ever skydive? The jumpers are all out of the aircraft, of the helicopters. We have just received radio transmission that the skydivers are about to jump. Look at them, they're all above you. There will be 5 of them. অনেক ওপরে আপনারা দেখুন, তারা তাদের হেলিকপ্টার থেকে বেরিয়ে পড়েছে প্যারাশুট নিয়ে 5 জন। This is something. All the 5 skydivers have deployed, and what a lovely sight they make. The advanced light helicopter from which the skydiving would take place today are from the 206 Army Aviation Squadron. They will drop from an altitude of 8,000 feet above ground level. Ladies and gentlemen, when the skydiver literally jumps out of the helicopter, spreading his body in a box position, he attains a speed of about 200 feet per second, where his limbs act like wings. The resistance of air helps him to perform controlled maneuvers. It's possible to change your body position to vary your rate of fall. Once under the parachute, the descent rates are generally 1,000 feet a minute. Means when you see this parachute deployed, they're at about 3,000 feet. They will take only 3 more minutes to reach the ground. Skydiving isn't just about the thrill or the pump or the adrenaline or the rush of the winds or even the breathless view of the landscape. It is simply about flying. They're all coming down. The order of landing. The team captain, Colonel Vishal Chopra, Sena Medal, Commandant, 31 Field Ammunition Depot. He's carrying, of course, he's gone towards the right. He is carrying the Indian national flag. He is a skydiver. He's from the Army Ordnance Corps. There he is. There he is. A big hand for Colonel Vishal Chopra. He has more than 2,000 skydives to his credit. He's part of the Indian skydiving team since 2008. A big salute to Colonel Vishal Chopra. He's the captain of the skydiving team. Then the second skydiver, Lieutenant Colonel Mayank Nagpal, carrying the national flag of Bangladesh with over 1,200 skydiving instructor since 2021, part of the Indian skydiving team since 2013, headquarter for Corps Signals Branch. There are 3 others up in the heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, you also see a hot air balloon right in front of you. The Indian Army hot air balloon will go up in a little while. The three other skydivers, the third one is on his way down. He's carrying the Indian Army flag. In a little while, he'll be here. There comes Havildar Arun Kumar, 9 Parafield Regiment, carrying the Indian Army's flag. He's from the Regiment of Artillery with over 600 skydives to his credit and is a part of the Indian Army skydiving team for the last 7 years. This daredevil, valiant paratroopers. And the next skydiver coming down, Havildar B.M. Patil from the 22nd Battalion of the Maratha Light Infantry, carrying the flag of the Eastern Command, is from the infantry with over 300 skydives and is part of the skydiving team since 2018. And we await the fifth and final skydiver. Ladies and gentlemen, after the show is over, do not forget to take a look at the arms display to your left. Before you go out, please take a look at the arms display. Arms and ammunition and equipment display of the Indian Army. We await Lance Naik Mandeep Singh. He is carrying the Vijay Divas flag. Please welcome him with a round of applause. Lance Naik Mandeep Singh of the 9 Parafield Regiment carrying Vijay Divas flag. He's also from the Regiment of Artillery. He has more than 250 skydives and is part of the skydiving team since 2015. Big hand for these brilliant skydivers. They're all here. ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর এই প্যারাট্রুপার সৈন্য যারা, তারা আর্মি এভিয়েশন উইংয়ের সদস্য, ভারতের আর্মির স্কাইডাইভিং টিমের সদস্য এরা। অসাধারণ দক্ষতা এদের প্রত্যেকের। ৮,০০০ ফুট থেকে তারা লাফ মারেন এবং প্যারাশুট খোলে কিন্তু ৩,০০০ ফুটে। তারপর তারা যখন নিচে নামে প্রত্যেক মিনিটে ১,০০০ ফুট তাদের গতিবেগে তারা নিচে নামে। A big hand for these skydivers.
Ladies and gentlemen, these brave skydivers definitely deserve a louder round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we can do it better for them. जोरदार तालियों के साथ इन जाबाज skydivers का हौसला अफजाई कीजिए.
Ladies and gentlemen, up next are the warriors of the northeast of the Assam Regimental Centre, Shillong, performing daring feats with indigenous articles used by the northeastern tribesmen. This team will perform certain special skills which majority of the soldiers of the Assam Regiment are capable of performing. Gymnastics, stick dance, thangta, the Manipuri martial art, chakku show, spear balance, bowl show, bodybuilding and chair clown. During this one can also see how in the ancient times people used this art for hunting and self-defense on the battlefield. Performing all these calls for a lot of strength, stamina, flexibility, courage, coordination and physical balance. Let's sit back and be awed as we see these Northeast warriors.
more. I'm on the edge, I know the less. I work real hard to collect my cash. Tick, 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 take the time. When I'm going for mine. Open your ears and you will hear it. I tell you this, cause there's no limit.
No, 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 there's no limit. No, 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 there's no limit.
आसाम रेजिमेंट का जवान हर कहीं लेते हैं सम्मान. आसाम रेजिमेंट का जवान हर कहीं लेते हैं सम्मान. लड़ाई हो या काम हासिल.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for that heart-throbbing performance there by the warriors of Northeast, the soldiers of Assam Regimental Center. And now moving on. A rich man's guardian, a poor man's friend. Dog is the only creature faithful till the end. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the next event in front of you is the dog show presented by the dog training faculty of the Renowned Veterinary Corps of the Indian Army. These lovable, adorable, but fierce four-legged warriors, along with their skilled handlers, are trained in tracking, guarding, attacking, explosive detection, mine detection, and securities to the dignitaries. The aim of today's dog show is to make you all understand the sheer dedication of these friends of human to work along with the soldiers to make our life more secure. देवियर सज्जनों, आप सब अपना ध्यान मैदान के बीच ले जाएं. आप सब देख सकते हैं नायब सूबेदार एस राउत के नेतृत्व में आर्मी डॉग टीम, और आज आर्मी डॉग्स का नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं आर्मी डॉग कोरा.
ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর সারমেয় বাহিনী, এটা জোরে করতালি দিয়ে ওদেরও স্বাগত জানাবেন.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome these adorable four-legged soldiers with a huge round of applause. And now you can see Army Dog Kora approaching the chief guest with a flower bouquet to welcome him and to greet him.
এর থেকে সুন্দর দৃশ্য এখন আবার চলে যাচ্ছে, ফেরত চলে যাচ্ছে, পছন্দ না. আজকে প্রধান অতিথি লেফটেন্যান্ট জেনারেল রানা প্রতাপ কলিতা, তার কাছে এই সারমেয় কোড়া একটি ফুলের ঝুড়ি নিয়ে তাকে স্বাগত জানাতে প্রস্তুত.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Army Dog Kora now salutes the chief guest and seeks his permission to start with the dog show for the evening. A huge round of applause for Army Dog Kora. I'm assuring you he is going to be favorite of you all at the end of this evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you can see all the army dogs lined up as per the military drill and saluting the chief guest. And now Army Dog Kora and Army Dog Dhamu will display the basic training skills. Army Dog Kora standing on the hind legs and Army Dog Dhamu rolling on the command of their handlers. You shall see Army Dog Kora doing the underbelly under his colleagues. And now Army Dog Kora will perform the overbelly. This training, ladies and gentlemen, is also helpful when these army dogs maneuver narrow ditches and obstacles during real-life operations. horses and riders can jump over the obstacles. There you go, Army Dog Dhamu jumping over these obstacles in front of you. Right behind Dhamu is Army Dog Marco. There you go, Marco seems to be in a hurry. He's jumping very fast over there. Right behind Marco is Army Dog Hook. Army Dog Hook is followed by Army Dog Tyson. The last but not the least, Dublin. And now the team captain, Army Dog Kora. Ladies and gentlemen, the four-legged soldiers of the Indian Army. Army Dog Kora carrying the thank you plank in his mouth. Please give them a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
জোরে করতালি দিয়ে ভারতীয় সেনাবাহিনীর সারমেয় বাহিনীকে আপনারা আপাতত বিদায় জানান। কি অসাধারণ কর্মকুশলতা এবং প্রদর্শন তারা করলেন।
And now, ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your breath because picture abhi baki hai dosto. As of now, the ground will be taken over by the brave and ferocious assault dogs of the Army Service Corps. देवियों सज्जनों, जम्मू और कश्मीर के अंदर बढ़ती हुई आतंकवादियों की गतिविधि को मद्देनजर रखते हुए भारतीय सेना के आरबीसी सेंट्रल कॉलेज ने सितंबर 2020 से असॉल्ट डॉग ट्रेनिंग की शुरुआत की, जिससे एलिगेटर्स का नाम भी दिया गया। आज तक तकरीबन 90 असॉल्ट डॉग्स को ट्रेन किया जा चुका है, जिनकी ट्रेनिंग 24 हफ्तों की होती है, जिनमें इनको असॉल्ट, अटैक, वेपन रिट्रीविंग एवं ट्रेसिंग की ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है और ट्रेनिंग के बाद इन्हें ईस्टर्न कमांड, नॉर्दर्न कमांड, एनएसजी एवं पैरा स्पेशल फोर्सेस में भी तैनात किया जाता है। Look in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, you will be able to see Army Dog Afro and Army Dog Abhi doing the tactical movements with their handlers. Has sensed some suspicious movement in the center of the ground. आर्मी डॉग आफ्रो अपने टारगेट की ओर बढ़ते हुए, और ये देखिए आफ्रो ने अपने टारगेट को पकड़ चुका है। There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can see Army Assault Dog Afro retrieving back the weapon. And now look to your left, ladies and gentlemen. Look to your left. You can see a handler with Army Assault Dog Roxy. I think they have sensed some movement in the center of the ground. That's Army Dog Roxy. Army Dog Roxy can move up to 48 kilometers per hour and can run 5 kilometers in a stretch. And there she's got the target. There you go. अपने हैंडलर के कमांड मिलते ही आर्मी असॉल्ट डॉग रॉक्सी वापस अपने हैंडलर की तरफ। The Belgian Malinois are originally bred in Belgium, who are very smart and obedient. They are also very strong and protective and territorial instinct, and hence are trained from a very early age. Ladies and gentlemen, in front of you are approaching two Army Assault Dogs. Please give them a huge round of applause. We would all remember Army dog Zoom, who succumbed to 2 gunshots by the terrorist, but not before catching 2 deadly terrorists while serving in 19 RR in Anantnag. देवी और सज्जनों, जोरदार तालियों के साथ इन आर्मी असॉल्ट डॉग्स का हौसला अफजाई कीजिए.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful show by man's best friend, the dogs. Namaskaram, as they say in South India. We shall now display Kalari Payattu, simply called Kalari, an Indian martial art that originated in modern-day Kerala. Believed to be the oldest surviving martial art in the world, with a history spanning more than 3,000 years. It offers various other martial art systems in the world, but it differs in the sense that weapon-based techniques are first taught and then the bare-handed techniques are taught. The chenda is the traditional drum that accompanies all Keralite art forms like the Kathakali, the Kodiyattam, the Theyyam. So the chenda will now be accompanying the Kalari Payattu. So it's called Chendamalam and Kalari Payattu, displayed by the mighty 20, the 20th Battalion of the Madras Regiment. Sit back and enjoy the traditional marvel from the southern state of India. hand for the 20th Battalion of the Madras Regiment, the Mighty 20. What a wonderful show of the most ancient surviving martial art in the world, the Kalaripayattu. Madras Regimented 20তম ব্যাটালিয়নের কালারিপায়াটু আপনারা প্রত্যক্ষ করলেন। Big hand for them, ladies and gentlemen, and the depart. Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming to the close of the show. This is the final presentation of the military tattoo for Vijay Divas, which is tomorrow. Paramotors. Paramotors provide the experience of powered paragliding to an individual with the help of foot-launched technique. This mini motor can make you feel like a bird in a matter of minutes. The Indian Army has 2 nodes for paramotor flying training, namely the Army Adventure Node at 50 Para Brigade at Agra and the Parachute Regiment Training Center in Bengaluru. It can take you, the machine can take you to an altitude of 8,000 feet above ground level and even further with ease, and can make you cruise at a speed of 60 to 80 kilometers per hour. Militarily, this can be used as an airborne platform of air shoots, radio relays, recce and surveillance. In the recent past, many such exercises have been conducted using this equipment. I welcome you to this show presented by the Army Aeronodal Center at PRTC, Bangalore. It was set up in 1996 and has conducted courses for powered paragliding. In 1998, with the induction of paramotors, the name was changed to Paramotor Node. The node has conducted 5 major expeditions so far, out of which one of them holds a world record and another a national record. The first expedition from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, covering 3,300 kilometers, conducted in 2005. 8 pilots took 60 days to complete the expedition. In the history of paramotor, this was the longest distance covered and set a world record. A big hand for them, ladies and gentlemen. There are 3 of them. And they will hover around and then come and land in front of you. Lance Naik Jagdeep Singh, Paratrooper Vijay Singh and Naik Amol Gore. You see the Indian Army flag and the tricolour. A pilot can reach sky from land, and from land to sky he can fly 3 hours continuously and cover a distance of 100 to 150 kilometers. He can even take 1 passenger with him easily. There comes the paramotor warriors. That is Lance Naik Jagdeep Singh. We see another paramotorist gone far away. Keep cheering, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's gone so far away. He's gone to the Victoria Memorial. These paramotor specialists, these skydivers, the paratroopers, they really know the life of a bird. Part of the Army Aeronodal Center. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the hot air balloon in front of you. It's also from the Nodal Center, the Army Adventure Wing. And hot air balloons provide challenging outdoor training for service personnel in the form of adventure activity that incorporates controlled exposure to risk in order to develop leadership, teamwork, physical fitness, moral and physical courage, and adventure sport as well. You see the Indian Army hot air balloon right in front of you. There have been various expeditions of the hot air balloons from Jaipur to Jabalpur, conducted in December 2013, a distance of 820 kilometers. Pune to Jabalpur, 985 kilometers. Jabalpur to Lucknow, 567 kilometers. Fazilka to Jabalpur, 1214 kilometers. And from Jammu to Kanyakumari, called the Jai Bharat Expedition in hot air balloons of the Indian Army, 3,200 kilometers. There is Lance Naik Jagdeep Singh. Paratrooper Vijay Singh. It must be an exhilarating experience to be up in the ground, up above the ground, and feel like a bird. Naik Amol Gore. The paramotorists rather, of the Indian Army.
देवी और सज्जनों, इसी के साथ हम आज के शाम के कार्यक्रम की समाप्ति करते हैं। ये बात हवाओं को बताए रखना, रोशनी होगी चिरागों को जलाए रखना। लहू देकर जिसकी हिफाजत की हमने, ऐसे तिरंगे को सदा दिल में बसाए रखना, ऐसे तिरंगे को सदा दिल में बसाए रखना। मैं उम्मीद करती हूँ कि राष्ट्रभक्ति की इस भावना को हम सदैव अपने दिल में बसाए रखेंगे और अपने आने वाली पीढ़ियों को भी इसी पथ पर चलने के लिए प्रोत्साहित करेंगे। हम तहे दिल से आप सबको धन्यवाद करते हैं और उम्मीद रखते हैं कि आप सबको ये कार्यक्रम पसंद आता है। With this, ladies and gentlemen, I, Major Kritika Patil, along with Shri Biplav Ganguly and Major Yatharth, sign off for this evening. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us. We hope you enjoyed this show as much as we did, bringing it to you. May I have a small request before the Honorable Chief Guest and the other dignitaries who are our very special guests move out? Kindly remain in your seats, please. So, আপনারা দয়া করে একটু বসে থাকুন আপনাদের আসনে, দয়া করে অল্পক্ষণ, যাতে প্রধান অতিথি এবং বাকি অতিথিরা তাদের আমরা সসম্মানে বিদায় জানাতে পারি। আপনাদের আশা করি ভালো লেগেছে এই শো, যতটা আমাদের ভালো লেগেছে এটি করা, আপনাদের কাছে নিয়ে আসা। রঞ্জন দাস, এখানে কে আছেন? আপনার ছেলে আমাদের কমেন্ট্রি বক্সের কাছে আছে, কাঁদছিল বেচারা। Ranjan Das, you're requested to come here to the commentary box. Your son is here. So we don't ask for tea or anything. No. हमारा फ्लास्क कहाँ है? I'm going to catch all of you.
A small announcement, ladies and gentlemen. A grey color purse has been found and is kept near the commentary box. Anybody who the purse belongs to can come and collect. A grey color small purse. उसमें कुछ चाबियां हैं और कुछ पैसे हैं. जिसकी भी पर्स है वो आकर कमेंट्री बॉक्स पर आकर कलेक्ट कर सकता है. ग्रे कलर का छोटा पर्स.
হলি
একটি সূচনা আছে। 10 বছর বয়সের রঙ্গন দাস, ভবনেপুরে বাড়ি, ও হারিয়ে গেছে আমাদের ভিআইপি এন্ট্রেন্স গেটের কাছে আছে। ওনার পরিবারের যদি কেউ থাকেন, দয়া করে আপনারা ভিআইপি এন্ট্রেন্সের কাছে চলে আসুন। রঙ্গন দাস, ভবানীপুরে বাড়ি। 10 বছরের ছেলে রঙ্গন দাস, ভবানীপুরে বাড়ি, ও হারিয়ে গেছে। ওর পরিবারের কেউ যদি থাকেন, অনুরোধ করব ভিআইপি এন্ট্রেন্স যেখানে বসার ব্যবস্থা হয়েছিল, প্লিজ ওইখানে অতি সত্বর চলে আসুন। বিশেষ সূচনা, 10 বছরের ছেলে রঙ্গন দাস, ভবানীপুরে বাড়ি, ও হারিয়ে গেছে। ওর পরিবারের কেউ যদি থাকেন, আপনারা কাইন্ডলি মেন এন্ট্রেন্স যেখানে ভিআইপি এন্ট্রেন্স ছিল ওইখানে চলে আসবেন। এটা শর্ট যদি নিতে পারো দেখো।
पीछे। अरे वो देख नहीं रहे आप, इधर आओ। दिल्ली के बाद फोटो खींचना। वो देखो सर, look at that.
सीएमपी वालों को
Security hazard है सर, CO
कहाँ है सीओ हो जाए। ये अपने आरपी वाले को बोलो, उनको लेके हटाएंगे वहाँ से। 2-3 आदमी भेजो, बिना आरपी जो भी है उनको बाहर भेजेगा।
पटाओ मत, आरपी वाला पटाओ।
सर सर वहाँ हेप्टर के पास काफ़ी लोगों ने भीड़ लगा दी, उनको 2 लोगों को भेज के उनको हटाना पड़ेगा।
सर वो बिहार का सिक्योरिटी हथियार लेके आएगा, ऐसे अपने फट गए वो, मैंने उसको आगे भेजा। सर वहाँ पे सब एवरीवन इज फ्लॉन्ट दैट हेप्टर देयर।
वहाँ पे 2 लोग भेजने पड़ेंगे। तो सबको बाहर करना पड़ेगा अभी। क्या हो गया ना, टाइम कंट्रोल में था। टाइम
फिर तो एक बार स्टार्ट हो गया था।
एक फका हुआ
कौन सा
डॉग वाला।
क्या हुआ?
उसने ना पहले जीओसी के आगे रखा उसने, फिर चीफ ऑफ स्टाफ का आगे।
पीछे से किसी ने दोबारा रखवाया, वो उसका था ही नहीं करने का आगे। ये जीओसी ने दोबारा मंगवाया है।
नहीं गलत रखवा दिया था, फिर दोबारा से करवाया उसको आर्मी कमांडर के आगे रखा ही नहीं वो।
आर्मी कमांडर के आगे नहीं रखना था, वो पीछे ही था।
कहाँ था वो?
पीछे जहाँ पे रख के गया था ना, वहीं पे रखना था।
पता नहीं
ये बाद में किसी ने करवा दिया।